Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our interactive virtual webinar, Do More with Less Using the Microsoft Project and the Power Platform. My name is Ray Cecily. I'm a Sales Solution and Marketing Specialist with Prosperi, and I'd like to introduce my colleague, Andre.
Hi, Ray. Thanks for having me in this webinar. It's always nice to talk about Microsoft and project management. So as Ray said, I'm André Tibério. I'm a tech lead at Prosperi, and I'm excited to talk here with you.
Perfect. Thank you, Andre. And as he said, we work in partnership with Microsoft. So this webinar is being presented in partnership with Microsoft. So thank you so much for joining us. Real quick before we start, I just want to touch on our goal because long-term survival in an evolving environment really requires organizations that can change strategy and modify their responses quickly and effectively. So our goal is really to help companies find their internal agility to support these rapid strategy changes with solutions and methodologies that really go beyond the traditional project management models. So let's dive in with what we're going to cover. So real quickly on our agenda, we're going to cover the introduction of Prosperi, just cover some slides so that you understand who we are. Then we're going to highlight how project management has really come a long way. And then we're going to really dive into the meat of how you can do more with less with the Microsoft solutions. We're going to show you how Project for the Web is fast and flexible and super easy to use. We're also going to show you how easily participation and collaboration can happen between team members for a successful project. And then we're going to show you many, many different ways on how you can customize your experience in Project for the Web using the Power Platform. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we also might see how ChatGPT can be used to help kickstart your project management practices. Is that true, Andre?
Yeah, you're right. It's just a POC that I was able to work on, but it's awesome. It's simple, but it's awesome. You'll see a bit later on.
I can't wait to see that. And last, I do want to mention, stay with us till the very, very end, because since we're presenting this in partnership with Microsoft, they have kindly offered you a Sugar Wish treat. There'll be a QR code at the end, and you can have a treat shipped to your house for free as a thank you for joining us. You can even get treats for your dogs. So stay with us to the end. All right. So I'm just going to real quickly cover 2 slides to briefly introduce our company, Prosperi, just so that you know who we are and you can better understand our project management expertise and our passion. So we have been around for over 30 years working within the project management space, and we have been 20 years as a Microsoft Gold partner in project and portfolio management. We're also extremely proud of our achievements and accolades with Microsoft, including Microsoft Worldwide Finalist in the PPM space for many different years. And also we've won Microsoft Partner of the Year for Latin America and Project and Portfolio Management for many years, including the last 6 years in a row. So project management is really our expertise. We also have expertise in several different technologies with solutions aimed at digital transformation and business agility, we have innovation management and capital planning, which is with our custom-built solution, Teams Ideas. We also have process automation and business intelligence and collaboration with tailor-made solutions using our Power Squad service, which is focused on the Microsoft Power Platform. And of course, project and portfolio management with our Microsoft solutions. So now let's talk project management. This is Microsoft's modern work management vision. What they really want is for teams to work the way that they want, but at the same time, executives can get the results that they want. So they really wanted to kind of align and marry those two. So they're trying to empower companies to achieve better business agility by using consistent tools, by using the Microsoft Cloud Platform. So this is really their overall goal.
Yeah, and what is nice about Microsoft is they always keep pushing for new features, for new releases. So if you go to the product roadmap, you can see the rollouts plan. This month we have 3 new features for a project, so it's very exciting to work with new things over and over.
They're always rolling out new stuff. So to truly appreciate how far project management has come, I just want to real quickly acknowledge some of the project management practices from the past. So, we're no historians. However, People did used to manage projects manually with paper. This is kind of how it all started, maybe on trees, but eventually on paper. But when they finished the plan, everything would already be outdated. It would be inaccurate. The whole project would be inaccurate. But then people started using computers and thinking, oh, this is great. Computers, we have a digital. And one of the first solutions that got attention for project management was, of course, Excel. So it's because they could easily manage their columns and the data easier. But of course, Excel, it mirrored the same challenges as papers. There was no links with the data, and then projects were becoming outdated. So since then, of course, Microsoft has developed much more into many different products along the way. Let's skip several decades of history. Insert project for the web. So this is Microsoft's most recent project management tool. It's fast and flexible and can be easily evolved into anything to customize your needs, basically anything. So before I hand this over to Andre, just to show you some demos, please keep in mind this is not a tutorial webinar, but more of an informative webinar showing different scenarios just so that you can understand different possibilities or create a spark of a relatable scenario for your workspace. So just keep that in mind. And I'll hand it over to you, Andre.
Okay, thank you, Ray. So let me play this demo for you. And in this demo, we will see Project for the Web in action. So here you can see that we are in a browser. As Ray said, Project for the Web is, you can use it in your browser. You don't need to install anything. So it's easy to use and already available for you. And if we want to create a new project, we can go there, new project, and then we'll have a few options. So you can import from your already MPP file if you use Project Desktop. Also, you can start from a template, or you can start with a blank project and create your tasks, your dependencies, all of that. In this case, we're going to pick one of the available templates. Let's pick employee onboarding. So you'll see like the tasks there from the template, and then when we click it, it's going to create the project for us. As you can see, we already start with a full template of a project, and we can customize it to our needs. So we have the different hierarchies for the tasks, we have the different columns, and let me show you how this works. So we can also always add new columns, and let me pause here to just show you the options. We have a few standard out-of-the-box columns like percent complete, depends on, finish date, all of that, the effort. We can display them in the view, or we can also add new custom fields. I'm going to show this a bit later on. Let's focus first on turning on what's already available. So let me rearrange that, just drag it and drop to finish, then the percent complete. And here, if I want to change the first date, because this is a template and the tasks, they are all linked in each other, if I change the date for the first task, it's going to impact all the schedule. So let me make this a few dates for a few days ago. And you can see that some things are already in red because they are already overdue. And this is how we can quickly see how our project interacts automatically. Let me assign some of those tasks to some users. Let me assign those tasks to me first. And then
I
I'm
love
going
how
to
it updates so quickly. Like it's super fast.
yeah, it's in the browser, but it's seamless. Like if it's
Yep.
such as if you are in Excel. Let me add here another user. In this case, I'm going to add him in the project team. So let me click here, add group, create an assign. And this user is a test user we're going to use because in a future video from this webinar, I'm going to show how can they update their own tasks. So let me just assign a few more tasks to this user. And now my other colleague here, let me add him to the team as well. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to interact with the tasks. So if you click this little check in the left, you mark all of the tasks as completed from that level, or you can do it one by one as well. So as I did that, you can see that percent completed change. Let me add a new task here, new task 1. So insert task above, new task 2, and now I can make them subtasks. So if I select both, make subtask, and then it changes the product hierarchy as well. And here, if I go to add columns, I can choose the depends on, and we can see that for every task, what task they do depend on. So for example, for the ones I created right now, the new task 1 and the new task 2, if I want to link them to another task, I can just go there in the column, depends on, and I select what other task this will be related to. And I can even change the dependency type. So if it's finish to start, which is the default one, or I can change to finish, start to start, or start to finish. Okay, so let me do this for this one. And then for this other one, let me put start to start. Okay. I can add some labels because it's easy to find those tasks later on if I want to, using the filters from Project for the Web. So I can assign multiple labels and change their colors if I want to. And let me assign them to the user. Okay, so now when I talked about the new field, the custom field for this project, we can click it, new field, and I'm going to show you the different types we have available. So you can add a new text field, a new date field, even a choice field, you can do it, or other options as well. And when you do it, people will be able to assign those values in that column. Now, let me show you the board view. This was all the grid view, and this is very relatable to Excel. So this is why people really like this this particular view. But there are other more modern views that we can use it as well. This one is a board view, and you can change the different dispositions available for you. In this case, we are looking at by bucket, and in this case, we have 5 buckets, but we can add more buckets if we want to. This is good so you can organize your tasks. You can drag and drop, and it's going to change the information about the task. Also, we have the grouped by assigned to, where you can easily see the tasks depending on your resources. We have progress, where we can see like the tasks that have not started yet, the ones in progress and the one completed. And if you drag and drop here, it will also impact in the task data. So if you put one thing that's in progress to completed, the percent complete is going to be 100%. So it's all intertwined. So here, for example, I put it in progress. Finish date, where we can see the tasks grouped by the finish date. So you know that for you're managing a project and you know what tasks you need to finish by today or the ones for tomorrow. So it's easy to have this your focus on what matters the most for that time. So, and then we have the labels, which are the ones that we showed in the grid view as well. We have the priority. In this one, everything is set to medium, but we could change that. And we have the sprints. If you want to have your project separated into sprints, you can have like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, and then rearrange, picking the things from the backlog and adding them to the sprints. So this is feasible as well here in Project for the Web. We of course have the timeline view, a Gantt chart that has all your project, and you can even interact with it. So if you change the duration of a task or the percent complete or the dependencies, all of these, you can do this in this view as well. Or you can open the details for the task to see the checklist, to see more about the task. This information pane to the right is always accessible as well in the other views, just like the grid, for example. We have charts where we have quick but very useful information about your project. So how many tasks you have left, how many tasks by bucket, how many effort per resource. And this is how you can see how your project is arranged. And lastly, we have the people view, where we can see for by each person who is working on which task, which ones are late, which ones are incomplete. So this is a good view as well. Yeah,
I
so
think
this
it's
was it.
so easy to use, but I really love the board view and being able to group by finish date. Like just I think that's such a great way just to keep on to be able to have the different angles of seeing the project and the different, where it's
Yeah.
at.
Yeah, and as you saw, it's very intuitive. You don't
Yeah.
need to use all of the views. If you just want to stick to the board as you like the most, you can definitely manage a project using only the board. But if you want, you can use other resources that are available to you as well, just such as the timeline or this people view. All of this is inside the project.
Love
Nice.
that.
Okay, so let's move on to our next demo. And this is This is about the resource. Oops, sorry.
No,
Technical
so
issues.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, you skipped ahead. No worries. So, what's good about Project for the Web is that people who are assigned to tasks can easily update their tasks and their progress on the project without having a project license, and the changes that they make are reflected in real time on the project plan. So, Andre highlighted a little bit about updating the tasks, but now we're really going to see how team members can collaborate. Go ahead, Andre.
Okay, now it's my time. So, as you can see, the user that I'm using right now is different from that other user. So if I go here in the top right, you'll see that I'm using this back PWA Online, which is our test user. We assigned this user to some tasks in Project for the Web in our employee onboarding schedule, our plan. As you can see in the left part of the screen, you see the Get subscription button. This is because we don't have a project license for this user. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We can update the task if we have an Office license for this user. So this is so nice. So if I come here into Shared with Me, I can see the projects that I'm assigned on, and I can pick that project we were just working on, employee onboarding, and I'll be able to see the tasks for this project. So just a second while it loads. In the top, you can see that I have limited access. This is because I don't have a license. But you see that for the tasks that I am not assigned, I cannot edit anything, not the name, neither the percent complete, nothing. But if I go to my tasks, the one that are assigned to my user, I can update the progress. So this is how I can do this. And in real time, the project manager will see this in the project plan and will know that this is updated. So it makes the status reports meeting so much easier, where everyone goes in there and update their own tasks. So I can change this other one, for example. So the tasks assigned to me, I can change them. This one's completed. This one's completed. I can do this. I can do that. But if I try to do this in other tasks, it's not possible. So this is one way to update my progress in Project for the Web.
So there's like permission restrictions based per task,
Yeah,
basically.
that's right. And what's nice is that in real real soon, Microsoft will launch. It's already in the roadmap planned for August, if I'm not mistaken. So your tasks that the tasks are assigned to you will show up in your tasks on your to-do board. So every project that you have tasks on, you have this centralized view where you have tasks from Planner, tasks from project, everything in one place where you know where you need to focus on your day, and everything will be centralized and much easier to use. So as of today, you can already update the progress of your tasks, but in a few days, it will be already available in To Do. You have the different,
That's exciting.
yeah, have your plans there. I'm excited for this one. This is why I also added here. Okay. Yeah, so this was it. This is how team members can update their own tasks.
I love that. So basically what we've showed so far are the basic features of Project for the Web. So if you are a casual project manager, what we've showed you might be enough, but there is much more to that. So if you want to take it a step further and really see your entire portfolio and enhance the features of Project for the Web, if you want to manage your risks, your issues, create a baseline, etc., this is all possible with Project for the Web and the Microsoft Power Platform. So Andre is going to take us through many different ways and scenarios of how you can customize your experience.
Sure, yeah. So as we said, what we've seen so far is the project for the web for the project manager. But if you want to take a look at the whole portfolio, if you want to manage projects in different scenarios such as risks, issues, change requests, the documents of the project, I'm going to show you the different possibilities here. What is nice is that Microsoft already offers us the Project Accelerator, which is a Power Platform solution, plug and play. We can install this into your environment and you'll have access to most of the things that I'm going to show you here right now. So the risks, issues, and change requests comes with the accelerator, and let me show you how to work with them. So after you install the accelerator, this is a project page. So you can see the summary of that project, some information in there, but you also see the tabs as the business case, financials, the resources, the tasks. If you click the tasks, you see the project plan that we were working on. But there's also risks, issues, and changes, which I'm going to highlight you now. So if I
This might be a
go,
good option when to use the Teams function of the pointer.
oh yeah,
Just throwing
so
that out there. It could be a great, we love all of our
okay,
Microsoft products and all the features.
okay, nice. Yeah,
There you
so right
go.
now, so as I was saying, so the summary is where you see the summary of the project, of course. But if you click tasks, you would go to the plan, and the plan will be highlighted here in all of that space. But let's focus on risks, then issues, and then changes. So right now, let me show you that risks for this particular project that we are accessing. The project is called Changing Network Core Devices. So let me turn off the pointer, and now here. So if I click here, new risk, we can see that the fields for the risks form, of course, this is customizable. This is just a kickstart that Microsoft offers in the accelerator. But if you want to create new fields or even change the rules, because you see there are some calculations here in the background, we can do this very easily, customizing in Power Apps, which is low code, no code. So here, when we are creating a new risk, we fill all of this form. But let me pick one that's already in place so we don't waste time creating a new risk. So here, this one, for example, you can see that who is the owner of the risk, who is assigned to the category, if it's a technical risk or not, the different values for it. So it's going to calculate based on the probability and the impact, and then you have the exposure. Then you have the cost of the risk, and it generates the cost exposure, which is a simple calculation, exposure times cost. But again, this is customizable based on your need. And here we have the different descriptions, the mitigation plans. All of this is possible in risks. Issues will have something similar. So if we were to create a new issue, we'll see a form, but now we have the fields related to issues. So the description, the resolution, the state, if it's proposed, if it's active, like all the different possibilities. And lastly, the change requests. So if a new change request is going to be submitted for this project, someone would use this form and choose a different approval, if it's approved or not. And what's nice is that we can integrate Power Automate with it or approvals from teams and do everything together. So when you create a change request, it sends the approval to someone in Teams. And when they approve, it changes this column automatically. So all of this can be related with Power Automate.
I love
And
how
here
they
we
all
have
integrate together.
yeah, everything is together, and it's concise, and it's so nice to change it. Okay, so this was the issues, the risks, and the change requests. Now we're going to show how can you create a baseline with Power Automate. Baseline are something that Microsoft are working on, but as of today, you can do this with Power Automate real simply. So how we did this, we have this new table called baselines in the Dataverse, which in Project for the Web stores all of this data in the Dataverse. And when we create a new row for this particular table, it's going to grab all the information that we need for that project, and it's going to restore in another table. So it's basically a snapshot for that particular moment. Let me show this working. So I can come here, new. I can select the project that I want this baseline to be saved. So I'm going to select this new product development. And I can add some notes here. It's not mandatory, just optional. So let's call it latest baseline. And that's it. It's going to grab automatically the baseline version, the created by, and created on. So when I hit save and close, we'll see here in this view that we have all the baseline requests for this particular project, that we have our new one in here, and we can access the baselines to see the information that was stored. For example, if I pick the first one, and if I go to I can see who saved this, well, when they saved this, what's the version, all of that. And if I come to related, I can see everything that was saved in other tables about this project. So we have the resource baselines, material resource, and we have the baseline tasks. So if I go to baseline tasks, we can see all tasks that were saved from the moment that someone saved that baseline. And now we can have this information here to compare with what we have currently to perform some analysis as if our project is going as intended in the beginning, following our baseline or not. And we can have multiple ones, as I said. And of course, this is a test scenario where we have T1 and T2, but you could have here several tasks. Doesn't matter. Yeah, and this was how easy we were able to accomplish creating baselines with Power Automate. It's just basically a trigger. When you insert a record in a table, it copies the information from your project in other tables. Just as this.
It really helps like make it be a more seamless experience.
Yeah, yeah. Next, we have documentation. And how can you manage the documentation from your projects? So you have two ways of doing this. So in the last tab, we have it documents. In this case, we integrated it with SharePoint. As you can see the path in there. And we can hit here new if we want to create a new file, a blank file, or if we want to upload from our computers, we can hit upload, choose file, and select any file from our computer. And then you see the files in there. So this is now a document related to the project. Also, what you can do as well is attach files to the tasks. So I click tasks there. So we open the plan. And when I go to the details for the tasks, for a particular task, if I scroll down, I can see this option, add attachment. In here, we have three options: from computer, from team files, and add a link to a URL. So if you want to have a link in that task, actually you can have several if you want. So all of this is possible as well if you want to store the document in the context of a task. So if you can store documents about the task or about the project. So it's up to you to decide where you want to store your documents. Okay, so these were the two different approaches in terms of how can we manage the documentation from our projects. Then we have the project status reports. So this is also a feature that comes with the Accelerator. So if we go there in the status tab, you'll see the different statuses reports for this project. So here the project manager can select the overall health, the schedule health, and the financial health manually if they want. Again, this is all like what's out of the box, but we can customize it to have formulas as well. We can have the amount of risks, issues, and changes actives for this project. And here we have the different status reports saved over time. So this was one saved in the past, where we have the accomplished activities for that week, if you're working on periodic and weekly status reports, the planned activities, and if you have some additional comments. So yeah, if we were to create a new status report, we would see that form. So these are the fields related to status reports. Also, you have this information in a Power BI report where you can select your project and you can see all the information about the status reports for this particular project that you selected in there. So this is one tab of the report, and as I selected that project we were working on, and here we can see the statuses reports saving for this project. And talking about Power BI, let me talk a bit more about this then. So that one was just one report I showed you. The Accelerator comes with several reports that you can use right off the bat. And because the information is stored in the database, you can use other tables that you might create or even other data that is not used in this report. But if you have stored in there, you can grab it and have your visuals, have your report ready for you. So let me just cycle through the different tabs and show you what's already in there, but keep in mind that this can be enhanced and be developed even further if you wish different views or different analysis points of view. So we have this request dashboard, program health, program financials, portfolio health, portfolio dashboard, portfolio financials, portfolio timeline, portfolio milestones, risks dashboard. We could do a webinar, a whole webinar about this about this report. It's so much. Issues dashboards, changes dashboard. All of this is already for you, available for you. Status
I love
reports,
that.
resource. Here we need to pick our status report. This was the one we saw previously. Resource dashboard, resource assignments, source
And this is what
allocation.
comes with it.
Yeah, it comes. Task overview, project timeline, my work. Oops, let me pick here one project. We see the project timeline, my work, where you can select your resource and see what they are working on, and my timeline. Yeah, so this is the Power BI. So it's a lot, and it's so nice.
Breeze through that.
Yeah. So now we reach the ChatGPT part. Let me show you.
Oh,
Woo. Let me show you how nice this is. And again, this is like a POC, a simple scenario, but it gives us a lot of ideas on what possibilities we can go. So what I did it was, so the API for ChatGPT is open, and I created a connector in the Power Platform. So now I can use this connector, for example, in Power Automate. So I can just go there, uh, write a sentence, and it's going to give me the output. Like what I request, it's going to give me the output. It's just like the same if we are going to prompt in the standard interface from ChatGPT. In this case, what we did it was, let's suppose you're going to start managing a project about a topic, about a subject that you're not really familiar with, but you want to have a kickstart. You want the ChatGPT propose you a template, and then from that template, you tweak it and you change the tasks and you advance from that. You don't want to start from blank, and the templates that are in there, not any of them is going to fit you perfectly. So you ask ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, please give me a template about a project around this topic, and then it's going to send us the template, and in the background in the Power Automate, I created the project automatically. So let me show you this working. So if I
yeah, I need to see this working.
yeah, let's say we were asking for a marketing campaign for a new product. When I click Create Project, it grabs that text and composes in a prompt for ChatGPT, asking something around this. Hey, ChatGPT, I want a project WBS about marketing campaign for a new product, and please give me the result in a JSON format. Because in a JSON format, we can understand the pattern and compose it into tasks. So I might be a bit too technical, but it's because I get excited. Let me show you.
We can't tell.
Let me show you this working.
However,
So
this is where it's going. So everyone's talking about GPT.
yeah, but again, I have not written a single line of code to do this. It was all done from a low code perspective, even building the connector and using the Power Automate to create tasks in Project for the Web. So it created the project for us. The title of the project is the input we had, and if we go to tasks, we are able to see the tasks that were suggested by ChatGPT. So here you'll see that these tasks, they are about this theme that we asked. So you will start by planning campaign goals and conduct market research, define target audience, and going up to optimize campaigns. If we would like more tasks, we can ask, hey, ChatGPT, give me at least 20 tasks, and it's going to give you 20 tasks. You can also ask, hey, I want to have the average duration for each of those tasks. And then instead of having everything by one day, you see approximately how many days it would take to perform these tasks. If you want to link the tasks, if you want to have the hierarchies, you can have a full-blown project plan here. Again, this was a POC, so I just stick to having the list, and I was satisfied by this. But if you want to advance and go deeper or go into different routes for ChatGPT, the possibilities are endless.
That's pretty cool, though.
It's nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I think this was it about ChatGPT. So
It basically does everything besides the resources to complete the tasks.
yeah, if we want to assign the resources, this can go deeper. But
But to actually do the tasks, I'm saying to
yeah,
come,
yeah. Let, just brainstorming here. But if you want to like, let's go not go this way. But it would be kind of possible to assign the resources as well. Who knows? ChatGPT is awesome. I like it. Okay, so next we have the mobile access for a Canvas app that we built. So we built a Canvas app that the resource would be able to interact with it and register their task progress inside from the app, and they wouldn't need to open the project for the web plan. Let me show you this working. So they would go this first option here, register task progress. They would see all the projects that they were assigned to. So if I click the second one, then I will see all the tasks that are assigned to my user. I can pick the first one. And then I have the appointments that I have over the days. So let's say that today I want to register a new appointment for this task. Let me inform how many hours I worked for this task, and this will update the effort of the task, and of course the percent complete as well. So if I can select the date that I'm going to register my work, I can inform how many hours I worked, and then save progress. And this will reflect back and change the task in Project for the Web. So it's nice as well, this one. Not uh, it's difficult to choose what I like the most, this app or the ChatGPT one.
I mean, there's obviously lots of different possibilities. So, you know,
Yeah,
as if we haven't mentioned enough great things already, the Power Platform is truly a powerful way to take your project management practices to the next level. So, you have endless possibilities with, integrating other systems with Power Automate. You can create custom reports with Power BI, as Andre showed us. You can create a custom project workflow with Power Automate. You can create Power Virtual Agent to provide you with information and update about your projects. You can create Power Apps connected to the Dataverse to read or write data. So there's so many different possibilities. What we showed you today is barely even scratching the surface. So what we really hope that you saw is that you can do a lot more with less using Microsoft Project and the Power Platform together. I know we covered a lot through this webinar, but I really hope that you learned some information about, project management can really be simplified. It doesn't have to be complicated. With Project for the Web, it was designed for easy team collaboration. The Project for the Web Accelerator is a great tool to extend Project for the Web capabilities, and it's really useful for PMOs to have a bigger picture view. And truly, the Power Platform to me is one of the most powerful tools to take your project management practices to the next level, giving you more insight, more control, and providing newer ways to interact with Project for the Web. So before we go, don't forget we still have our SugarWesh QR code at the end. But if you'd like to learn more about Project, please visit the different Microsoft links that we have here. Also, I just would like to thank you again. Prosperi, Andre, and I would like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us today. Our contact information is provided, so feel free to reach out to us directly at any time if you have any questions. You're also welcome to put questions in the chat. And as I mentioned, we presented this in partnership with Microsoft. So on behalf of Microsoft, thank you as well.